Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back. We're going to be getting into the second part of today's reading. So in the first part, I left us off at Cancer in the 5th house. So we're going to be continuing on our journey of Cancer through the houses with Cancer in the 6th house. Before I get into it, just to recap for those of you that might not have watched the first part, in today's reading, I decided to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to be drawing 4 cards. One card is going to be a message from your soul. The second card is going to be a message from the Divine Mother. The Mother archetype rules Cancer, the moon being a female archetype. And then we're going to move into your subconscious message to then finish off with a fear message, a fear that is ready to be seen at this time. And I apologize ahead of time if you hear all the noise going on. There's nothing I could do right now about that. So I apologize in advance. So let's get into it. If you have Cancer in the 6th house, this is going to be your reading. All right, and as I've been doing so far for all the other readings, I've been putting out all the cards first so that I can see all of them and do a reading with all the energies present. So let's see. Oh, that's too many cards. That one, and last but not least. Oh, and if you're interested in knowing what kind of energies are moving through the collective at this time, I invite you to watch the first segment of the live I just did, where I touch on the energies moving through the collective. Because there's a lot going on, especially with all the planetary shifts that have occurred in Pisces. All right, so Cancer in the 6th house. Let's see what we got. Oh my God. This is really interesting. So this card came out for Cancer in the 4th house, the 5th house, and now it's coming out for Cancer in the 6th house. So there's definitely a pattern emerging between those 3 placements right now when it comes to soul love and the master healer number as well. So that's very interesting. Then your mother message is awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. And I just want to say before I continue on, having Cancer in the 6th house, the 6th house is the house of health, routine, our jobs and occupations, but it's also the house of healing. So I wouldn't be surprised if the theme of healing is recurrent throughout today's reading. We have skywriting, the fates. Card 49, and it came in reverse. And then we also have the card of surrender. That came through in reverse. Okay, so big healing energies moving through Cancer in the 6th house for sure. And that healing has to do with this soul love that wants to be birthed through you. So there's a lot of movement in your dream time right now, Cancer in the 6th house. We have awakening codes coming through. We have celestial kind of messaging also coming through. And then we have the card of surrender in the reverse. So to me, that kind of indicates subconscious underpinnings, but also the dream time. So a lot of these shifts that are happening for you, Cancer in the 6th house, has to do with your dream time. So I'd be curious to know where Neptune sits in your birth chart, because Neptune rules dreams and illusions, and he's currently in Pisces. So I'm curious to know where transit Neptune is compared to your birth chart Neptune. I'm not going to astrologically map you right now. I don't have the brain space for that. So where Pisces sits, where Neptune sits in your birth chart. I'm also picking up Saturn energy as well. So huge crown chakra activations happening for Cancer in the 6th house. And it's really interesting because we have the moon here. We also have the moon here. So strong lunar energy as well, which obviously I can't say I'm surprised. Cancer is ruled by the moon. But this has to do with like your dream time. So there's a need for you, Cancer in the 6th house, to really pay attention to your dreams at this time and during these transits. So I'm referring to the transits in Pisces. So we have Saturn and Neptune both retrograde in Pisces. So for the duration of these transits, which is 4 to 6 months from now, paying attention to the symbolism that's going to be coming through in your dreams is going to be very helpful. I'm trying to tap in here and see what else wants to come through for Cancer in the 6th house. And on this card, we also have runes as well. So I'm hearing that for some of my Cancers in the 6th house, maybe exploring different forms of divination could be significant for you at this time. It could be runes. It could be dream interpretation itself. If you've been thinking about kind of just launching yourself in terms of helping people interpret their dreams, that is something that's worth exploring and pursuing for sure. Anything kind of Neptunian is really what I'm picking up for. And I'd actually be curious to know if you even, for some of you, you even have Neptune in your 6th house. Because there's definitely this planet's energy very, very present in this house for some of you. And then with the surrender card being in reverse as your card symbolizing a fear that you're ready to deal with, for some of you it's releasing, surrendering. And there's a need for you to start taking action. And there's kind of like this divide where you want to surrender and trust the divine's timing, but then another part of you wants to take decisive, inspired action and just kind of do what it is you know deep down you need to be doing. And what I'm sensing for a lot of you is that you need to allow your soul to be the leader moving forward. It's not necessarily the surrender energy, especially with it being in reverse. You know, surrendering can be difficult, but I'm not sensing surrendering being difficult for you guys. I'm really sensing that it's an energy that needs to be released. You're done kind of practicing surrender and you're ready to just start taking divine action, and action that's rooted in this soul love. Again, this 33, this master healer energy coming through. For some of you, during these transits and Cancer season as a whole is going to be a period of deep healing. There's a lot happening within your subconscious in your dream time, and it might feel heavy at times because again, I'm kind of picking up this friction between both these energies right now. We talk a lot about surrender in the spiritual communities, that we need to surrender to the divine's timing, and it's true. But it's also not true in the sense that we need to acknowledge that we are fully co-creating with the universe. So as much as we want to surrender and give into the divine's time frame, we also have a role to play. So it's time for you, Cancers in the 6th house, to release this need to constantly surrender. There's a need to discern when surrender is appropriate, but when action is necessary. So Cancer in the 6th house, there's a need for you to step in to soul love during these transits and during Cancer season. You've mastered this surrender energy. That's why it's here in reverse. This need to always give in to the divine's timing is no longer the center of what you're here to learn at this point. You're here to learn how to take decisive action emanating from your soul. I'm glad that's resonated. So this divide is going to resolve itself once you let this energy go. And there is a fear here because, as mentioned, in spiritual communities, we're always talking about needing to surrender to the divine. So you can be afraid to kind of step out on your own. But it's knowing that when you're stepping out, you're stepping into this. You're cosmically aligned and supported by the cosmos as you start to take this bold, empowered action. And it's knowing that, look at this person's head. It's fully illuminated. This indicates that both your throat, your third eye, and your crown are fully illuminated moving forward, and that you are ready to start taking action, and that you know when you need to surrender. Yes, I will definitely save it. I'll be publishing and sharing it after. So I look forward to seeing you later. So there's a need for you to really step away from the surrender energy. I'm not picking up that it's necessarily something you've mastered, but it's something you're just done with right now. And it's understanding that there's a closure that is happening with this energy. And it's refusing to allow this closure that might be causing some friction and some resistance, because you are already embodied this energy. And you're just ready to embody it on a wider scale. So it's not doing away with the divine. It's shifting your relationship with the divine to being a co-partner fully. And you're going to be feeling this in your dream time. And you're going to be receiving a lot of activations by spirit and the divine. And they're going to be helping you to step into this. So it's understanding that as you walk away from the surrender energy, you're not walking away from the divine. You are stepping into being the embodiment of the divine. That's the shift that is happening for my Cancers in the 6th house. And it's a big one. And it's understanding that you can fight it as much as you want, but it's going to happen regardless. So you can either be a willing participant in this experience, or you can do your best to try and fight it and deny it. But this is the final outcome of what you're moving towards, Cancer in the 6th house. Is soul love, and that seed is already sprouting and germinating within you, and it's about allowing it to. You are ready to release this energy and allow your dream time to guide you. Really pay attention to the symbols that are going to be coming up for you. You might even notice certain recurring themes. Spend time reflecting on those themes, especially if your dream time has to do with certain people that keep showing up. There's definitely something to do with those specific people. And maybe it's those relationships with those specific people that are going to help you shift from this energy into this energy. So that's what I'm getting for Cancer in the 6th house. We're going to go ahead and pull an affirmation card. Let's see. Ooh, so we have this card, and it says, I know myself deeply and find myself worthy. So for a lot of my Cancers in the 6th house, this shift has to do with worthiness. There's a sense that, and I feel the energy. I'm going to do my best to put it into words. What I'm picking up for Cancer in the 6th house right now, there's a vision of the divine being higher than thou. And to a certain extent, this is true. But at another extent, it's also not true because you are also the embodiment of the divine. So this card saying, I know myself deeply and find myself worthy, is for my Cancers in the 6th house to find yourself worthy of being the embodiment of this soul love. And again, 33, master healer energy of stepping boldly into your power, your light, your energy. And to not be afraid that by stepping into this, you're going to forego your connection to the divine. You're just shifting it. You're just changing it into something better. That's all that's happening. There's no need to fear it, even though it can be uncomfortable. I'm kind of seeing this ship that's been docked for a while that's ready to set sail. And that's you, Cancer in the 6th house. You're ready to set sail, and you need to just trust that, let's say the divine has been your safe harbor. The divine is with you as you set sail onto the ocean. The divine is within your sails. The divine is within your ship. The divine is within you. And you have nothing to worry about as you step forward. So those are the messages I'm getting for Cancer in the 6th house. We're now going to move into Cancer in the 7th house. So if you have this placement where this energy resonates, this is going to be your reading. So soul message for Cancer in the 7th house. Let's see. All right, so Cancer in the 7th. Let's see. Interesting. Okay, so this card came out for a Cancer placement already. I can't remember which one, but Inner Voice, card 28. This is the message from your soul coming through. And then we have the Ever Unfolding Rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you, as your Divine Mother message. Ooh, and then from your subconscious, we have Lost Compass, getting back to integrity. And I almost read that as getting back into integrity. And this card came in reverse. And then we have Ask Body as the fear that is coming through. And this card came in reverse. And it's interesting because we have an eye above this jaguar. So third eye energy for sure coming through. So let's see. Cancer in the 7th house. Okay, so already, interestingly enough, I'm feeling a bit of a divide in your energy right now. I'm feeling your soul and the Divine Mother on one side with the colors of these cards. And then I'm also feeling your physical vessel on the other side with these cards. And it's interesting because we're seeing more soft pastel colors and then like stronger, bolder, more flamboyant energies on one side. So there's definitely a divide here. Let's see if I can tap in and see. And it's interesting because the card from your soul and the mother were upright. And the other two cards, your subconscious and the fear that's coming up, were in reverse. So what I'm sensing is that there's definitely some stubbornness happening for you, Cancer, in the 7th. There's just kind of back and forth energy between what you know you should be doing and what you're currently doing. So I'm definitely sensing for my Cancers in the 7th that your soul wants to guide you down a certain timeline, but there's resistance. There's being overly anchored in the physical that's preventing you from taking that leap of faith into the unknown, into your own spiritual path and calling. For a lot of my Cancers in the 7th, you might be feeling very confused and lost at this time and not even know which way to turn. Because we have the lost compass as your subconscious message, and it's also in reverse. So kind of compounded lost energy is what I'm picking up for Cancer in the 7th. And then we have the Ask Body card, also in reverse. So you might also be feeling blocks within your physical vessel. And the main advice that's coming through for Cancer in the 7th is that you need to turn inwards. You need to start turning in towards your soul and to this divine energy that wants to come through, because there's a lot of divine feminine energy around you, Cancer, at this time in the 7th house. And this divine feminine energy that's coming through is to help you open up. Roses are a symbol of the divine feminine. When we think of roses, there's the middle part, but then there's a bunch of petals that are just unfurl and open up. So for you, Cancer in the 7th house, you are being led to unfurling, to opening up, but you need to deal with whatever this is over here. So there's clearly some body issues coming up. Maybe there's shame around the way you look, your appearance. Maybe your health isn't where you want it to be. So we have health concerns and issues coming up for Cancer in the 7th. And then we also have your mind. That might also be causing issues. There might be back and forth. You might be all over the place, confused, feeling out to lunch, so to speak. If this resonates for you, there's a need to engage in prayer more often. And it's understanding that prayer doesn't have to be religious. You can either stand, you can sit, you can be down on your knees. It doesn't matter. And just invoke the divine or speak to God, the universe, the cosmos, whatever resonates. But there's a need for you to start opening that dialogue up with divine energies. Again, the words you use doesn't matter, but there's a need for you to start speaking and opening your throat and communicating, and not communicating with physical people, but communicating with your guides and your ancestors and the divine, knowing that even though you might feel silly if this isn't something you do regularly, they are listening. And it's not about letting your human limiting beliefs impact this sacred connection that wants to take place. And it's understanding that this connection's already within you. It's looking to be nurtured. So that's the key message that's coming through, especially from your soul, is to start nurturing your relationship to your soul, because we're conditioned to be overly human in this experience, and which we are completely human, but we are also completely divine. And it's that divine aspect that's being illuminated for you at this time. And it's realizing that things don't happen to you, they happen for you. The divine is trying to get your attention. It's trying to get you to steer the wheel in a different direction. And I'm being called to share that those moments or those experiences when you're driving, then all of a sudden you just get an intuitive hit of, I should turn here. And it's not your regular route, but you just get this inkling that you should turn off sooner than, let's say, your regular exit to go home. And you find out later it's because there was a huge accident up the road where you would usually get off. So you just avoided a shit ton of traffic on your way home from work. This is your intuitive psychic senses that are coming through. I've said this before, and I'm being called to say it again. We are all psychic, and it's a matter of if you allow yourself to tap into those energies more frequently or not. People that are out here calling themselves psychic and who actually are, is because they're tapped into these energies. Mind you, I did say claiming to be psychic because there are some people that are still rooted in a lack of integrity that mainly base their skill set off manipulation as opposed to genuine connection to source. So obviously we need to use our discernment and be able to see if that is accurate or not. But it's understanding that holistically, we all have the ability to be psychic, tuned in, have a sixth sense. But it's a matter of if you're going to nurture those abilities or not. That's why you get some people that are very, very gifted in being able to tap into energies, and it's because they actually take the time to nurture this connection. So for you, Cancer in the 7th, you have the invitation to start tuning into this energy a lot more. And I'm hearing that as you tune into this energy. And it's funny, it also says inner voice. So as you start to tune into this inner voice of your soul and allow yourself to open up more, you're naturally going to resolve these health issues and this kind of mind scatteredness that you've been experiencing, because the way to resolve things is through connecting with your soul. And if you're like, well, Leah, how the fuck does one do that? My favorite practice is meditation. I spend time and I usually lie down because I'm more relaxed as opposed to sitting. And I just lie there and people are like, well, I can't get my mind to shut up. That's not the point. The point is to just be present with whatever is coming through your mind. And the more you do this, eventually your mind does actually shut up, but it's actually being willing to sit with yourself and allow all the mind bullshit to just come through. Maybe as you're lying there for the first time or sitting there, you're like, well, you're thinking about your work day, or you're thinking about a relationship, or you're thinking about something random. Allow these thoughts and be persistent with it. The first couple times, it might just be mind chatter. And then eventually like, okay, I've reached my max. And then you try again the next day. It's realizing that meditation, you don't just sit like in silence right from the get-go. It takes work to get there. And you start small, maybe 5 minutes where you just lie down somewhere or sit and just allow your thoughts to come up with no judgment. And then maybe in a couple weeks, you give yourself 10 minutes. And maybe then it's still mind chatter. And then more weeks at 10 minutes. And then, maybe you get a minute where there was complete peace and silence. And then you keep cultivating that, because that's the thing. Like any relationship, our relationship and connection to our soul is a two-way street. We need to invest energy into it. And if you're not investing energy into it, well, you can't just take some miracle pill that's going to get you to be enlightened or connected to your soul. It takes work. It takes care and just investing energy. So Cancer in the 7th, you're being encouraged to invest in your inner voice, which is the voice of your soul, and to really connect with it at this time. And things are going to start unfolding for you as if by magic as you do so. And all these kind of issues and challenges you have been facing are going to fall away. You have nothing to worry about. Everything is going to work out, but you need to turn inwards over the upcoming weeks and months from when you watch this. Before I forget, moon affirmation for Cancer in the 7th. We have, I love this. We have, I enjoy the serendipity of life. The unexpected can be wonderful. Blue moon. So that is your moon affirmation, Cancer in the 7th. Feel free to let me know how that resonates or doesn't resonate. I would love to hear from you. I'm now going to move into Cancer in the 8th house. So if you have displacement or this resonates, this is going to be your reading. Let's see. Oh, that one fell out. There's 2 there. We're just going to go with it. All right, so Cancer in the 8th house. Ooh, we have card number 9, a soul journey, coming through as your soul message. And it's a bunch of clouds with like a staircase and like a portal, which is really interesting. Ooh, and then we have play. Have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. We have a little mermaid looking gal in like a cocktail glass, which is really fun and playful, as your divine mother message. In terms of subconscious message, 2 cards wanted to come out, and they're both in reverse. We have Skywriting, the Fates, card 49. We also have Benefactor, Grace and Generosity, card number 3, coming through in reverse. And then the fear that's coming through is Higher Perspective. And it also came through in reverse. So this is really interesting. Similar to Cancer in the 7th house, your soul and divine mother cards are upright, and then your subconscious and fear cards are in reverse. So again, kind of feeling that split energy between the divine self and then the human self, which is interesting because that's definitely been the theme as I've been tapping into these energies. So right away, I'm being drawn to your subconscious cards. We have Benefactor and Skywriting, the Fates. Your subconscious, Cancer in the 8th house, wants you to know that you're divinely blessed. And you have a lot of skills when it comes to healing the subconscious and helping other people heal. So if this isn't something you were aware of yourself, you have a lot of divine blessings carrying through for a lot of you from previous lives. And you are very psychically gifted and talented. And a lot of these gifts are going to be activating over the upcoming weeks. And they're going to be activating through play. So the more you spend time having fun and not taking life so seriously, the more these activations are going to be able to come through. And I also find it interesting how the main theme for this reading has also been different activations coming through for the different Cancer placements as well. So with the soul journey card coming through, so for my Cancers in the 8th house, your soul has had many lifetimes here on earth. Whether you're aware of this or not, but this is really being brought to your attention. Your soul has journeyed many times here on earth and a few times into other realms and galaxies as well. I'm hearing for some of my Cancers in the 8th house, you might have been feeling maybe borderline depressive and as though the energies lately have been feeling too heavy to bear. And it's because there's activations that want to take place and you're not seeing that just yet. With Higher Perspective being in reverse, your sight is kind of being blocked at this time because stuff is meant to happen behind the scenes for you. You're not meant to play a very active role at this point in time. You're meant to just let the universe work its magic. Paying attention to your dream time is also going to be very important for you at this time. So paying attention to your dreams, and knowing that you are here to fully embody this energy of the Benefactor in full consciousness. So if this isn't an energy you yet embody, grace and generosity, these energies are going to be activated over the next coming weeks, and you're going to be called to be the embodiment of this energy. I'm mainly seeing you as this mouse with the crown here, and like look how it's just providing for this other little mouse here, and this other mouse is completely safe and relaxed. We also have what could be fairy wings at the back or dragonfly wings, so both of those beings could be significant for you at this time. And we have the moon here, so similar to, I think, what was it? Cancer in the 6th house, and picking up Neptune energy from this card, dream time. So a lot of psychic healing happening while you're sleeping, actually, which, I mean, can either be nice or very disruptive if it's like really vivid dreams. I'm also picking up that your soul is very playful and enjoys having fun. So if fun isn't something you've been doing a lot of lately, you've been kind of really bogged down because of work or just the general energies, going out and having fun is going to help shift your energy. I'm also hearing it's going to help break this energy up a bit because, as I said, the higher perspective card did come out in reverse. So you might be finding it difficult to see the higher perspective of what you are currently moving through. And it's interesting because there are wings here as well in this card. So you might be feeling stuck as though you're unable to fly, but you have a guide watching over you, and this guide has wings, and they're reminding you that you also have wings, even though you might not feel that way. I'm also picking up for some of you, taking time to go and journey will be helpful and supportive for you at this time, whether this is an internally directed journey where you spend time in meditation, or an external journey if you go to like a beautiful place in nature and just observe, watch, tap into the animals you see. Maybe spend time in nature where you just observe the different insects, birds, and different mammals that might come your way. And then later on, after what you've seen, go home and Google what the symbolism of that animal means. Because I'm definitely picking up for Cancer in the 8th house, there's a need for you to shift your energy into a lighter aspect with this play card here. And for some of you, there's a need to just overall lighten up right now. Things aren't so bad, even though they might feel that way. So that's what I'm getting for Cancer in the 8th house. Let's see your moon affirmation. Oh, we have, I gratefully surrender my struggle. Actually, I read that wrong. It says, gratefully I surrender my struggle. So there's a need for you, Cancer in the 8th house, to surrender that struggle. Life doesn't have to be as difficult as you might be making it out to be. There is more fun and better times ahead of you. I'm kind of getting the random message for some of you, either hosting or organizing a dinner party might be fun and playful and help you shift your energy. But that's all I'm getting for you, Cancer in the 8th house. Feel free to let me know how that resonates or doesn't resonate. I would love to hear from you. We are now going to move into Cancer in the 9th house. So if you have this placement or this energy resonates, this is going to be your reading. So let's get into it. Put those cards back. And again, I'm so sorry if you hear all that noise. All right. Soul message for Cancer in the 9th house. Divine Mother message. Oh, that flew out. That's always fun when that happens. Then last but not least, Fear message. Oh, a bunch flipped over. Okay, let's see what we got for Cancer in the 9th house. The house of travel, higher learning, religion, philosophy. Ooh, okay. Very interesting. So Cancer in the 9th house. Your soul card is expression. 44. I said expression. It says expansion. So maybe it is expressing the expansion you have been undergoing recently. Teaching, sharing with others. This is a beautiful card. I don't use this deck this often. I should probably use it more often, but this card is absolutely spectacular. Look at the Merkaba on this. And we have a beautiful being having their chakras all illuminated, completely connected to the cosmos as a soul, which is phenomenal. I'm kind of blown away by this energy, to be honest. And then the Divine Mother energy is play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. And this card also came out for Cancer in the 8th house, which is interesting. And in terms of subconscious message, we have Netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. 42. Now, my Shaman's Oracle deck I use more regularly than that first one, but this is still the first time I see this card. This is really cool. Got some new cards coming out today. And then we have Reflect coming out. Again, not a card I see very often. So quite a few new cards coming out for Cancer in the 9th house. So let's see what wants to come through. So right off the bat, I'm feeling ancestral energy coming through. I'm feeling a grandmother energy coming through this reading. So for whoever that's meant for, there is a grandmama coming through to say hello. I think this is the first house that has all the cards in the upright position. So we're just going to tap into this first one. So we have 44 expansion. 44, the number 44 or 444 is connected to the angelic realm. And then we also have a Merkaba here. So Merkaba is usually one of the symbols that correspond to the Archangel Metatron. And Metatron is all about spiritual empowerment. So for those of you that have this placement or for who this energy resonates, a big part of your journey and mission here on earth is to be the embodiment of empowerment. And this is soulful empowerment because this is the message that is coming through from your soul at this point in time. And you might have spent a lot of time in reflection, in meditation, in introspection, in order to receive these activations and these downloads and to really start expanding your energy, because this is the first card we see where the energy is not only expanding vertically, but it's also expanding horizontally. A lot of the cards we saw today, the energy was mainly going up and down, but in this card we have the energy not only going up and down, but side to side. So we can see it kind of creating this cross-like energy and permeating energy completely throughout the soul. So for my Cancers in the 9th house, being deeply connected to your soul, if you're not already, is paramount for you to fulfill your mission and your purpose here on earth, because you're meant to just be the pure embodiment of your soul. And similar to Cancer in the 8th house, spending time playing is going to help unlock even more of your soul, because look at the colors on these cards. They're both these soft pastels, and then we have light beaming there, we have light beaming there, light beaming there. So just lighter energy and really tapping into these aspects of yourself and being goofy, making jokes, having a good time, and not taking life so seriously. I might actually, is it handy? Let's find out. I might actually read the Netcaster card from the book, because I'm not really picking up anything myself. So let's see what the card has to say and go from there. So Netcaster, preparations come to fruition, a surprise, a result beyond expectations. I find this interesting. It says, the netcaster arrives to tell you to stop praying for the fish. They have arrived, and it's time that you cast your net, lest they swim away. Everything that you long for is within reach, but it has been so long since your prayers were answered that you have forgotten how to receive what is being offered to you. Put down the prayer beads and open your arms and your heart to rewards beyond measure. Cast your net. Take the next step that you have been planning for so long. Remember that the fish wait for no one, so time is of the essence. Heaven and earth are in perfect alignment for your victory. The stars are positioned for success. The only one who can spoil the perfection of the moment is you. If you ask, do I really deserve this? You will sabotage the magic and shatter the crystalline flawlessness of the now. The netcaster can also arrive to bring you bad news, to tell you that you have been snared in someone's trap and must wriggle free. Right now, it feels comfortable enough, even as the net begins to tighten around you. Do not wait until it is suffocating you before realizing you must escape and run for your life. It is still early enough to exit gracefully. Bide your time until all the conditions are right. Go to your place of stillness, of deep quiet, and watch for the signs that a new opportunity has arrived. Right now, you are patient because you feel that things will go your way. Learn to be patient with the people and situations that are more challenging. Interesting, because with this card in of itself, we have two timelines. One asking that you enjoy and celebrate the rewards that have come your way, in regards to having cast a net and caught something, and the other timeline is in regards to being caught in something. So we have the reflect card here in the upright position. So whatever this, or these energies rather, have to do with, you have the necessary inner skill set to decipher what is happening with this net caster energy. Because for me personally, I'm not being shown one or the other. There's just these two timelines. So it's really going to be up to you, Cancer in the 9th house, to tap in and figure out, okay, what is actually going on? Is there something you've received that maybe you haven't practiced enough gratitude for or thanked the universe for enough? Or maybe there's something you actually take for granted. Others of you, you might be in someone's net and you're not seeing clearly that this person doesn't have your best interests at heart. Or maybe you are seeing it, but you're doubting your sight. And your soul is saying, don't doubt your sight. Whatever you're picking up from a person, whatever you're sensing or seeing is correct. Trust it and move away from this situation when the timing is right. We also have swans on this card. So swans could be a significant spirit animal. But with this netcaster, and it's funny that this is your card for your subconscious. I'm picking up subconscious energy really heavily from this card. And also the need for you to look at where Pisces sits in your birth chart as well. Neptune as well. And the moon. And to really tap into those energies. And spending time journaling on whatever might be coming up for you is going to also be helpful. All right, we're going to move into the moon affirmation. We have, I shine my light outwards for all to see. Moon goddess Diana. And look at the color matchup with these cards. Like, you can't make this up. So it's time for you, Cancer in the 9th, to really allow your soul to shine. And to just have fun as you shine also. Be playful, be bold, and just flow with it. Have fun. Don't take life seriously. So those are all the messages I have for Cancer in the 9th house. Feel free to let me know how that resonates or doesn't resonate. I would love to hear from you. I'm now going to move into Cancer in the 10th house. So if you have this placement or this energy resonates, this is going to be your reading. So let's get into it. Cancer in the 10th house. Oh, that's too many cards. Let's see here. Too many cards. All right, Cancer in the 10th house. Let's see what we got. So message from your soul. Oh, interesting. We have soul tree. So this card came out for Cancer in the 1st house. So that's your soul message. And then from the Divine Mother, we have no, wait, postpone, pause, say no. Interesting. Very interesting. Your subconscious card is the Wall, obstacles. And then we have the Sovereign as the Fear card coming up. So I'm already seeing a timeline for my Cancers in the 10th house. For some of my Cancers in the 10th house, you might be feeling overly stressed and kind of forced to act and to make decisions. And you might be dealing with subconscious fears around time running out. But the Divine is coming through as a whole to say no, wait, postpone. You have the Divine Mother herself being like, what are you doing? Just wait. Your subconscious, the Wall, obstacles. And this card is, I was going to say direct. Upright. So this energy is active. There's a wall happening. And then the Fear card is the Sovereign, which is really interesting. So the logical progression of these cards would be to say that there's a fear to stop, to wait because you might not get the crown. That's what logic would dictate, but it's that this card is upright. So it's not about logic right now. It's about the divine. It's about spirituality. So for my Cancers in the 10th house, there's a need to not move in a logical manner because the movements you're going to have to make aren't going to make any sense to your rational side. It needs to be your spiritual side that needs to come through and your soul. And it's interesting because look at these cards. Look at the symbolism. We see kind of like this pyramid-like shape. We see a pyramid back there. We see like a pyramid triangular shape there. We also see it on this crown. So pyramids and triangles are quite significant for this placement right now. And it's knowing that as you sit with this obstacle, as you delay and postpone, you are still going to get the crown. And it's interesting because we have the moon at the back there. And it's interesting because this timeline of what I'm sensing could have to do with the next full moon in Capricorn that we're going to be having at the end of this month. I believe on July 21st. And it's going to be a blue moon because it's the second full moon in Capricorn we're having this year. We had one a few weeks ago. So there's a need for my Cancers in the 10th house to delay action, to wait, and to postpone. And to rest easy knowing that whatever it is you want to achieve, you are going to achieve it. But it's not through forcing things or kind of barreling through. Your soul is saying to just be patient. Ground yourself, anchor in your energy, and wait for a better time. We also have a lot of blue energy coming through, but kind of like a galactic blue. We have a lot of stars. There's stars on these cards, and then there's also kind of stars in the back of those cards. So to me, this is indicating that there's other stuff at work that you don't yet see. This could have to do with information. I'm picking up legal information for some of you. So that's why there's certain obstacles taking place. For some of you, I'm hearing this has to do with business transactions, and stuff keeps being delayed because there's something amiss. There's something you're not aware of yet. So the universe is urging you to postpone making decisions at this point in time till the information comes through. I'm hearing that you are going to get the information and it is going to surprise you, but you're going to be grateful that you didn't sign whatever this has to do with. You might have been contemplating, I don't know, this is just an example, taking a job with a certain company, and then you keep, like, stuff gets postponed, delayed. Maybe you don't get the emails, or maybe there's issues with the emails. They attach the wrong form, and then eventually you just decide not to pursue a job with this company, and it turns out a month later they go bankrupt, or they were a scam. And it's understanding that the divine is coming through strongly right now to protect you and to protect your crown. So for a lot of you, this is like your actual crown in regards to your crown chakra. So it's making sure that that energy point is not being tampered with by lower energies. Because just with the darker kind of colors on these cards, I definitely sense that there could be darker energies trying to tamper with things. So there's really a need for you to just wait. I'm trying to see if anything else wants to come through. Those are pretty much all the messages I'm getting for Cancer in the 10th house. We're going to go ahead and pull your moon affirmation card. I seek balance and grounding. We have similar colors here with your moon affirmation with your soul card. So there's a need for you to seek balance and to ground. And look at this card. We have Earth. And we have a tree. So for Cancers in my 10th house, whatever this is, there's no need for you to act on this right now. You can hold off, wait, and focus on your body. Focus on grounding, spending time in nature, practicing yoga, dancing, whatever feels good and supportive to your body at this time is what you're being encouraged to explore. And whatever this is, it's going to resolve itself because the divine is on it, is what I'm sensing. So those are all the messages I'm getting for Cancer in the 10th house. Feel free to let me know how that resonates or doesn't resonate. I would love to hear from you. I am now going to move into Cancer in the 11th house. So if you have this placement or this energy resonates, this is going to be your message. So let's find out. All right, that card flew out for your soul message. Let's see, Divine Mother. That one. We have your subconscious card, and we're going to draw a fear card. Let's see. Oh, that flew out as well. And there's two of them, so we're just going to go with it. All right. So Cancer in the 11th house. Let's see. Ooh, interesting. So as your soul message, you have card 39, variance. Oh, there's a lot going on in this card. We have like this being here, and not only do we have the chakras being illuminated, we actually kind of have like more symbols even depicted within the chakras. I know you can't really see them, but we have like triangles, we have circles. And then those symbols continue on. And then again, we have this light in the middle here, and it's radiating up and down, but also side to side. And we have wings here. So that's your soul card. Ooh, I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards. From the Divine Mother, we have transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. And I love this card. All right. And then from your subconscious, we have Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation, 15. This card came out in reverse. And then Fear, we have 2 cards that came out. They're both in reverse. We have Release with a little froggo. This is one of my favorite cards. I find it so cute. Mind you, I'm biased because I absolutely love frogs. They fascinate me deeply. And then we have Patience with a turtle. So slow moving energy when it comes to fear. And then Release also in reverse. Dust Devil in reverse. Okay, let's see what this is about. Okay, so the first message that wants to come through is with Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation, being in reverse. This energy, what I'm sensing, is going to start clearing out. But there's a need for you to be more patient still. I'm sensing that a lot of you have been doing a lot of inner work around practicing patience, and Spirit is coming through to say, practice it a little more, a bit more patience, and to release the frustration you might be feeling around the stagnation that you've been experiencing as well, because these energies are going to clear out and move out, because as I said, all 3 are in reverse. So these are energies for this specific reading that I'm picking up as energies that are going to be clearing out. And it's because you have deep healing that wants to take place. That's why those energies are going to move out. And with this card, I always get goddess energy. So there's goddess healing that's going to be occurring, and this is regardless of your gender. And then your soul, we have variance, 39. To me, variance, I depict this as meaning shape-shifting. Being able to tap into multiple timelines and ways of being all at once. So this is your soul. Your soul has been many things. It's been in many different galaxies, many different realms. And it's understanding that it's encoded all these different experiences within your chakras. So if you're having a hard time integrating this healing and this transformation that needs to take place, there's a need for you to remember that you can tap into a past life, a former soul experience where you might have undergone this already. Right? Because as I said, I'm picking up goddess vibes from this card, but I'm also picking up high priestess energy. So for some of my Cancers in the 11th house, it's tapping into a soul memory where you embodied the goddess. Maybe you were a living goddess. Tapping into a timeline where you embodied being a high priestess, being the embodiment of spirituality. It's bringing in these big, rich energies into your current incarnation, because that is what's going to help clear out these blocks, this remaining stagnation, this frustration with your path that you're currently feeling. There's a need for you to become even more spiritual if that's possible. So maybe re-upping on your spiritual practices, spending time in meditation, journaling, spending time in nature, and really carving out what being spiritual means to you, because spirituality can't be put in a box. It's our own experience with the divine depicted externally, but also the divine depicted internally. And this is really what's coming through for you, Cancer. in the 11th house is that kind of harmony that needs to happen between external energy and internal energy. Knowing that this is what you embody. You embody it all. So you can constantly shape shift. So if there's something causing frustration, impatience, you can shift out of that energy like that if you want to. Because you are this. Fundamentally, as a soul. You are also this. I believe both these energies kind of mirror each other. Goddess energy, divine energy, light energy. And it's really allowing yourself to be the embodiment of that higher frequency that's going to clear out the impatience, clear out the stagnation. And it's realizing that it's okay if this shift takes time. There's no need to be impatient with yourself. It's knowing that regardless of how long something takes you or doesn't take you, you're always right on time for your soul growth and your soul journey. So that's all I'm pretty much picking up for Cancer in the 11th. We're going to go ahead and pull your moon affirmation. It's synchronistic. I love this. It says, I will not remain stuck. I choose change. You, dear soul, are the change you wish to see in the world. You are it, and it's realizing it and embodying it, moving forward. You will not remain stuck. You don't have to stay stuck. You can choose to change. You have the willpower. You have the energy to shift your life for the better. You just need to know that you do. So those are all the messages I'm getting for Cancer in the 11th house. Feel free to let me know how that resonates or doesn't resonate. I would love to hear from you. I'm now going to move in to Cancer in the 12th house. So if you have this placement or this energy resonates, this is going to be your reading. So let's see. Let's see here. Cancer in the 12th house. Soul message. Divine Mother message. Subconscious message. And fear message. Oh, interesting. So, Cancer in the 12th house. I think you might be the first house that has the soul card being in reversed. Maybe. We have Nourish. Card 23, and it came in reverse. So right away, some of you might have forgotten, but you come from a different star system. Earth is not your source of origin. For some of you, source directly is where you emanate from, and you're here to embody this energy, whether you're aware of this or not. And it's interesting because as I'm looking at this card like this, I'm seeing this star here, I'm seeing the earth, and then I'm seeing the water. So it's interesting. You're kind of meant to be this light that illuminates earth, but also earth's subconscious and unconscious. So that is a big part of why your soul incarnated here on earth. And then from the mother, we have break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. In the upright position, subconsciously, we have whale song resonating, 61. Also upright. And then we have compassion. Also upright. So this is really interesting. I think this is the first house where we have the soul card being reversed, but then all the other cards are upright. And I'm sensing that for a lot of my Cancers in the 12th house, The Soul card being in reverse is because some of you are still hiding this aspect of yourself. Because with all your other cards being upright, this means the energy is moving. You have been breaking chains, ancestral limitations. You have been embodying higher frequencies and allowing that energy to kind of shift your own energy makeup so that you become more resonant to what is meant for you. And then in terms of fear, we have compassion, and it's upright. So a lot of you hold the purest frequency of compassion within you, but you're kind of holding this back a little bit, even though it's upright and it's very present within your energy field. And it's interesting because even though with all the other houses, I've been picking up on two separate kind of color themes. This has been like pastels and then like bold reds and oranges. All the colors are pretty seamless in all of your cards. We have blues, we have indigos, we have teals. Like, just look at these colors. They're all kind of like harmoniously connected. We kind of have all these colors throughout all the cards. And they're the higher chakra colors. So your indigos, your purples, your violets, teals. So crown and third eye, and then above also, which is really interesting. Okay, so the main message I'm getting for Cancer in the 12th house is that there's a need to release the kind of victim mentality you've been holding about yourself, your gifts, your purpose, what you're here to do. I'm sensing that for some of you, you don't feel as though you're having the impact or the reach that you want to. But it's that stuff is going on a subterranean level. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but that's what wants to come through. So as I try and depict the meaning of this, so subterranean, I'm thinking of soil, I'm thinking of earth, I'm thinking of ground, and it's understanding that for my Cancers in the 12th house, that's where you're having your impact right now. It's in the subterranean realm of humanity, so it's not being really seen or felt just yet, but it's understanding that it's going to. And it's interesting because look at this. We're seeing earth is half submerged in this card, and for you guys, Cancer in the 12th house, this is where you've been having your impact. It's not being really seen right now. It's not being really felt, but it will be, because look, there is a progression that is set to happen. And it's interesting because we have blue and we have green. So this is the heart chakra, but then we also have the throat chakra coming through. So there's going to be a need for you to burst out of the work you've been doing kind of behind the scenes to just really reclaim where you're meant to be, which is this light here in the sky for my Cancers in the 12th house. And the mother's coming through to thank you, actually, for having the commitment to breaking these ancestral chains, because it has not been easy. A lot of this stuff has been going on for generations upon generations, because as you look at this card, you see this woman standing here today in the light, but you see all of her ancestors standing behind her all the way back into this cave. And cave is making me think of the cave of persecution. So for some of my Cancers in the 12th house, you might still be kind of holding on to an energy of persecution. There might still be fear around actually showing up as the star that you know yourself to be as a soul. So there's a need for you to just start owning this. And the way in which you're going to be able to own it is knowing you move from compassion. So being compassionate, being loving is going to become a superpower. That's why it's over here in like the category of fear, is because your compassion is so fierce, is so powerful, that parts of you haven't even begun to unlock this energy yet. Because look at this card. We have the word compassion, yet we have a skull here. So even just this card within itself can invoke different things. We're like, well, compassion, yet I'm terrified because there's also death related to this compassion. And it's knowing that this is the fierceness that you're bringing to the table as a soul, Cancers in the 12th house. You are this terrifying aspect of death, but you're also fiercely compassionate about it. For some of you, being a support person for people that struggle to progress through the steps of grief when it comes to losing a passed on loved one could be a part of your soul mission. Helping people through metaphorical deaths could also be a part of your mission, where it's you help people grieve past selves. So people that have become overly attached to a sense of identity, and then for some reason that identity just disappears and gets swept away. For example, we can think of people, and this is extreme, but this is the image that wants to come through, someone who all of a sudden has to have a body part amputated. There's a lot of just trauma, pain, and grief in that process, in that loss. And there's also a death that happens and needs to happen. And it's understanding that for my Cancers in the 12th house, you have the necessary compassion to facilitate death in a gentler way than people are otherwise used to. Because we also have whale song resonating. So you have a very soothing energy and resonance about you, Cancer in the 12th house. Your aura itself is very soothing and healing for people just to bask in. And it's realizing that you don't need to do much. You just being you radiates this love, this compassion that people need to feel better about themselves. So this is really beautiful, Cancer in the 12th house. But yes, you are meant to shine. You will invoke the change you wish to see in the world. You don't have to worry right now. You're just in the subterranean level, but you are going to move through, and you're going to move through by the heart chakra and by embodying fierce compassion. So those are all the messages I'm getting for Cancer in the 12th house. We are now going to pull your moon affirmation card. So let's see. And the card says, I'm courageous and powerful. Waxing gibbous. We have a lion. We have Leo season coming up. Moon card here. And a lot of spheres also, before I forget to mention. So we have like a bubble of water. Then we have a bunch of planets back here. Then we have Gaia. And we have the moon physically on this card. So a lot of spheres. So maybe working with sphere energy could also be supportive for you at this point in time. But yes, Cancer in the 12th house. I am courageous and powerful. That is you. Step into this energy. Own this fierce compassion that you are here to embody and radiate. So those are all the messages that I have for you, Cancer in the 12th house. Feel free to let me know how that resonates or doesn't resonate. I would love to hear from you. I am sending you all so much love.